Okay. I would love to be
like
on
to be?
stage, but I think I should stand down there because there's so much going on up here.
Yeah, there's no room for you here. Get out.
No, there's no room for me. How are you?
Good, thanks. Yeah. That was really
Okay,
fun.
here's my stage jump. There we go. Is this the earliest you've ever done a show?
No, because of morning television, which we've like weirdly flirted with a couple of times, and it's very strange. But yeah, no. This is 1:30 in the afternoon on a Wednesday is pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I haven't really been keeping track, but we first met September 18th, 2013 at 12:42 p.m., which is true. I haven't logged, and a lot has happened since then. And I remember that morning, Kyle, you had a rough night the previous night, and I believe you had In and Out for the first time as well.
Literally the highlight and the worst part of my life together. But yeah.
Not to bring up bad things, do you remember what you did to my trash can?
Oh my God!
You owe me $4.99.
Although at least it was filled with In and Out.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, get down here, Woody, everybody. Come on. No, come on.
I was In and Out last night. I had to wait 45 minutes. I'm not happy. Withdrawing all endorsements.
But he was like, "It's supposed to be fast food."
Dan, was there a time in the last 2 years, because I know I would feel like, holy crap, I mean, people know every one of our songs, and now we gotta do it again. I know there's been mixtapes, but now with full length, did you ever just have nervousness, reservations, or was it all like, oh, this is easy, we got this?
It was a combination of the two extremes. I think the fact that it took us basically 3 years sort of says, I think we tried to just enjoy the process, and there were points where we were kind of a bit nervous, because I think this album is in some ways a bit of a departure, but I think it still feels very much like us, and so we were kind of hoping that people who like our first album would sort of come along with us, and also just keen to show off other sides of what we do and what we want to do. So. And
when I listen to the album, I hear a little hip hop, I think. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And now, is that a departure, would you say, or is it more electronic? Is it the words? Is it more inclusion of Will? Why do you say it's a little bit of a departure?
Well, basically, we had to stop Will from rapping on the first album. It's a big issue. It's just like I think hip hop as a genre is kind of, it's almost like meaningless to call it that anymore. It's such a like broad musically. It's such a broad and production wise. Spectrum of sounds, and it's really exciting, and I think it has huge influence on a lot of different people in different genres, and I think we just wanted to make an album that felt like a mixtape, that felt like a soundtrack, and that kind of on a first listen you had no idea where it was going to go, and that's something that I love from a lot of mixtapes and hip-hop records, and so that was the main thing. Obviously we don't rap, but also there was sampling as well, was quite a big part of it. So that was a really long answer.
More guitars, right?
Loads of guitars.
Loads of guitars. And how was that for you going into this with guitars?
Well, it was great. I've wanted to play guitar for a while because I play guitar a bit, but then I realised that it's I had to buy loads of things because I didn't actually own any guitars, or I was like, yeah, I play guitar, and so I've been experimenting with all pedals and things. So it's kind of like dancing as well now, which is quite nice. But yeah, it's really fun. We put some heavier guitars and stuff, but then Dan reacted against it because I think he got a little worried it was going a bit too rock, which is probably where the hip-hop and the R&B influences came in more as a reaction to me.
The thing is, with all of these, they're all stuff that we think. If you listen to it, people are like, it's just a Bastille song. Like,
are you ever worried that you do all this work, because there's a lot of tracks on the album, that people aren't just going to listen to the whole thing and just they'll keep hitting song one over and over, good grief, Kelly LeBrock, open, Kelly LeBrock, Kelly, over and over, or is that something you're not really worried about, people's patience getting through all the songs?
I don't know, I think... when it comes to the stuff that we make, the songs and everything else around it, the videos and artwork, I think we just like to think about the detail, and that's the really fun bit, the ins and outs of production and the songs. And I think you've got to work for people who are like super fans, for people who want to see every little bit and know every little thing, because that's the most important thing. And there, of course, are going to be people. We're lucky enough to have songs that get played on radio, and that means that to a lot of people, we will just be those tunes that they hear, not out of choice. And that's fine, but I think as long as we are doing our best to make all the other stuff as interesting and fun as possible, obviously 19 tracks is quite a lot to get through.
It is. Kyle, what was your highlight of making this new record?
I don't know. We spent a couple of weeks in a sort of bigger studio in London where we kind of all we sat down with loads of different drums and percussion and stuff, and loads of guitars, loads of amps laid out. And then when it was synth day, and everyone just had to sit in the studio like that, while I was going like that just for ages, and I loved that bit. There was no synth. That was me. I just recorded those bits, and yeah, just geeking out over all these different synths that we brought in, and we could all just sit down and mess about with them. And there might be there's a few clips where like there's like at least 3 of us like turning stuff as one, like someone's playing a note and someone's twisting stuff, and we all got involved. So that was cool. Yeah.
How about this song, Good Grief? Was it the movie Weird Science? Is it just the drop from the movie that you liked? Did one influence the other, or they have nothing to do with each other, Dan?
The song was written, and I think it's when we were producing it well, the idea of having these quotes through the album comes from like our old mixtapes, which are full of quotes, and just I love of like soundtracks where they weave dialogue in and out, and then we were getting together all these different ideas for quotes, and Weird Science was a film that Carl loves, and our friend Tom, who's here somewhere, was helping us like put together all these quotes from different places. Hey Tom, conveniently behind a camera. He's a director, did you know? That's not even on. He just wants to look. He's like, I'm in LA. Should probably have my camera out.
I'm meant to be here.
But I think it was one of those things where the quote was just perfect. Like it's kind of the song is about, I guess it's about loss, so it's quite sad, but about trying to find hope in it, and the quote just, I think, gives it this sense of like nostalgia. I'd not really seen the film before. Carl introduced it to me, so it's kind of, which makes me an idiot. But I don't know. It's become a really big part of it, and it opens the record. It's quite nice having somebody else, another voice other than my annoying voice, open the record, and it's kind of a bit of a nod to fans who've been waiting for a minute.
All right, so my questions are like a 6 out of 10, so hopefully this one will be a 10 out of 10 from a fan. Your name is?
Sandra.
Where are you from, Sandra?
I'm from Simi Valley.
Okay, don't screw this up. And go for it.
Pancake?
Man, you've already messed up.
Pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes or waffles is the question.
I guess waffles can contain the syrup a bit more.
Yeah. They've got the pouches for the syrup, whereas the pancakes, they just rolls right off.
Pancakes every day.
Yeah?
Yeah. Literally, I eat pancakes.
Good.
All right, one more here. Great question. We're going to have to ask you to leave.
We've gone highbrow.
Okay, what is your first name?
Jamie.
Where are you from?
Thousand Oaks.
Have you seen this band play live other than in the sound space?
Like once or twice.
Where at?
Oh, yeah.
Troubadour, in Kansas actually.
Nice.
And-
The Troubadour's in LA, though.
Yeah.
You said Troubadour and
And
Kansas.
in Kansas.
Okay.
At Crossroads.
Nice. Ask your question. Go.
Okay, when you're writing a song, do you write the lyrics first or the music?
There's no real formula to it. It's kind of stuff just comes into my head at weird points, and I have to sing it into my phone, and I look like a weirdo.
Is that how you do it? So do you have a lot of things in your phone? Is it melody or is it words or
Yeah, I've got
what is it like?
I don't know what my phone is, but yeah, there's a mix. Sometimes melody and words come together at really inconvenient times. Like in this cinema, it's really annoying. You're like, I want to watch this film. All I can think of is this stupid song that's good. Anyway, so yeah. So and then I don't know. Sometimes we sort of decide what a song's going to be about beforehand, and other times that kind of it just happens. I don't know. That's the really inarticulate way to describe it.
He doesn't know.
I'm going to let Kyle answer all my questions from now on.
And how much trust is there or ease, Dan, when you go into the guys with lyrics and you're like, these are the words?
I just sort of change stuff all the time. We were out here earlier this year playing some sort of early versions of the album to people, and there were points where, we'd be in a room and we'd push play on the songs, and the guys would be like, "Oh, you changed it, did you? Cool, cheers for letting us know." So I think I'm lucky with these guys to have kind of free. I think if I started saying really offensive stuff, you might be like, "Hold up,
Turn it back a bit.
Yeah. We do have a swear on this
Got a
album.
swear on the album.
We do, yeah. We're growing up, guys.
or not.
Yeah, or the opposite.
And on that note, I think I'm going to stand here and shake hands and thank you guys for doing this. Thank you so much. And hug you. Dan, I believe last time I saw you, I was on Planet Mars floating around and singing. Do you remember that? That was not good. Woody, thank you very much. Kyle, thank you guys. The Air Bastille right here. Wildwood is the album. Have a safe flight.
Thank you, dude. Thanks so much for having us.
I know you guys know, but this city, I know it's a huge city, but everyone has gravitated towards your band like you're one of our own from here. So,
Which is so nice, and we feel so at home here as well. Like I remember one of the first times we came to LA was Woody rented a car. We had a day off and we were driving around, and we were like, Pompeii just kept playing on the radio. It blew our minds to be in LA and having that, so thank you.
All right, you guys, once again, they're Bastille. We're going to let them go. What a show. Thank you, guys. Give them a big hand.